Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Leanne, the Kiwi Yogi. I have a home yoga studio based in Mount Warrigal in the Illawarra in New South Wales, Australia. And unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 virus, I've actually closed my doors to studio classes and now I'm just recording online for your benefit. These classes will remain to be free for the long term, so please don't feel that you're going to get coerced into having to pay for some sort of membership later. These are free for your benefit to help you find some balance and some stability in your own mind, in your own home during the course of this time. So please make sure that you do hit the subscribe button so you're going to get notified when every new video is released. Hoping to release about 3 or 4 per week based on the timetable on my website at soulspotyoga.com. So just a little bit of a background, I've been a yoga teacher for about 5 years and I've been practicing yoga for about 8 years for myself, and so many benefits to this. Primarily, the best I've found is it helps ease and soothe my anxiety, particularly in times of unknown like this. It's great to just kind of let everything else go in the day, let everything go else in your mind, and just move with your body, basically. I'm not perfect. I'm not editing all my videos to make them perfect. What you see is what you get. I hope that you can understand me with a little bit of my accent and with the sound quality. Please feel free to give me any feedback at any time. I'm open to that without judgment. So we're going to get started, and we're going to start beginning on our mat. Okay, you're going to notice a few things around me. I have a bolster, which is like a pillow, and with that pillow I can sit up and allow the body to rest more with that one. It's perfect for the yin practice. Over here I have a strap which helps me with my hamstrings. My hamstrings can be a little tight sometimes, so it helps me kind of go a little deeper into poses. So if you've got like a belt or a exercise elastic band or anything like that that can kind of substitute, you can use those as well. Highly recommend having blocks, particularly if you're quite tight through the hips. These are awesome. They help bring the floor up to you and help with balance as well. I have these cork blocks, so I'm sure you guys can order these online if you need to. Highly recommend them. At the end of my practice, I always take you through a shavasana, a period of shavasana. It's relaxation, and I always encourage the use of an eye pillow or something to that degree, so you can help relax the eyelids and they can rest. I actually love to use Sabine and Sparrow, which is on my website. Their eye pillows are divine. They're filled with linseeds and they're scented with essential oils, which smell amazing. And they continue to smell amazing for a long time as well. The mat that I'm using is a mukti mat. I highly recommend a top quality mat. This one has actually been in use, as you can tell by the love and the roughness of it, for about 5 years. So once you've got all your stuff, you want to get started. Let's flow, let's move, and let's begin. I'm going to get you guys to start on the floor, but we're going to start in child's pose. Okay, so we're going to come to the back of the mat, and we're going to take the big toes to touch. Take your knees a little wider. Now, if you're feeling like you need a little extra support for your lower back today, then take the knees in toward each other. If you are pregnant, then I do recommend taking the space of the knees wide, and then sitting the bottom back toward the heels. You want the hands to start to walk forward and allow the torso to settle between the legs or to the top of the thighs as you rest your forehead all the way down. I'm going to hold and stay here for a few breaths, just allowing this time to arrive for the practice. You'll notice that I fall into moments of stillness. That is not the video pausing or stopping in any way. This is just allowing you time to settle into the space and just listening to the sound of your own breath, watching it as it goes in through the nose, down into the lungs, and perhaps into your belly. See how the breath expands. And then as you exhale, notice the breath as it releases from the body, coming out through both nostrils. If you're restricted in any way and not able to use the breath in and out of the nostrils, then I invite you to move the breath in and out of the mouth. But try and ideally work with the nostrils here. I'm going to take one more watching breath here, watching the breath float in without changing or altering in any way. And that final exhale out. Now for the next 5 breaths, we're going to start to breathe a little deeper, a little longer. So as you inhale, really start to draw the breath in through the nose and press it down in through the throat into the lungs. Feel the lungs expand in all directions. And continue that breath all the way down toward the belly, toward the pelvic bowl, and allow the breath to fill up that entire space. Your belly button will expand away from the spine. Once the breath is full, then we're going to exhale and we're going to draw the belly button in towards the spine. We're going to take the ribs in towards the heart. Allow the breath to release from the chest, the lungs, all the way through the throat and out through both nostrils evenly. Take a few more rounds of that. Breathing in, consciously breath, consciously breathing. Taking one final round here of breath in through the nose, all the way to the pit of the belly. You'll notice the breath is quite long here now once you concentrate. And as you exhale, you'll notice a full breath release, and even the shoulders, the hips, the legs, all the body soften down. On your next inhale, we're slowly going to press through the knees, rise up onto the hands and the knees. Draw the hands in underneath the shoulders and draw the knees in underneath the hips. Take the shins parallel and tops of feet to the floor. Spread your fingers super wide. So you're going to move through cat and cow, Balasana from here. So this is just starting to warm the spine. So you keep drawing the elbows in towards each other and drop the belly down. Chest comes between the biceps and lift through the heart, chin lifts. As you exhale, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under, press through the hands, round the upper back and let the head drop down. Move 5 rounds through here in total, floating forward with the chest is half a round. Exhale, rounding out to end that full round. So 3 more of those, nice and slow. Inhale, floating forward. Exhale, rounding out. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale, rounding out. Really press through the hands, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly in, and then come back to neutral position. I'm going to give you an option. We're going to get it a bit more into a twist here. So if you are pregnant or you have any shoulder injuries, then you're going to take due care with this one. But it's from here, we're going to take our right hand toward the sky, opening the chest toward the right. As you exhale, you're going to scoop in underneath the left arm and take the right shoulder down to the floor. Try to keep the hips level here. Press out through the left hand as you inhale, lift up, open up towards the right with the right hand. Exhale, scooping under. 1 more of those. Inhale, lift and lengthen. So move slow, there's no need to hurry here. Exhale, scooping under. Take the shoulder to the floor. We're going to rest here for a few breaths. If you are pregnant and this is too much, just draw the hand in a little further, maybe even forearm to the floor. Just gently turn your upper body over toward the left. Keep drawing the shoulders away from the chin, the chest. That's it. And feel the stretch through the side of the waist. Full breath in. Long exhale out. As you inhale next, press out through the left hand, rising up through the right, reach. Exhale, release right hand to the side, to the floor. And then come straight onto the other side. So you're going to extend the left hand up. Exhale, scooping under. Left shoulder coming down to the floor, looking over to the right. Inhale, press out through the right hand, lift up with the left. Scooping under, twisting over to the right. 1 more lift here, lifting and opening up. Feeling it through the outside of the shoulders, reaching your fingers all the way over, rest down here. You can take that Right hand a little wider if you like, and just turning the torso from the belly button up over toward the right, or if you are a little restricted and you want to stay off the shoulder, just taking the forearm to the floor and just pressing through the right hand as you twist over to the right. You don't have to crane the neck looking too far up to the ceiling. Try to keep just looking out to the right, twisting through the spine. Slowly from here, you're going to take your right hand back beneath your right shoulder, press out through the hand, lift up, open up, left hand to the sky, exhale, release, left hand down. Hands beneath the shoulders once more. Let's take the hips from side to side now, releasing through the outside of the hips. So just like a dog waggling their tail. I want to feel the lower half of our torso and body just kind of rock side to side. And then start to shift the weight forward and back through the hands. Nice. And then we're going to come and we're going to tuck our toes at the back of the mat. Now, my yogis know that I do this one quite often. It's a toe squat. So you want to flex the toes so they're all touching down to the floor, and draw the ankle bones and the inner ankles in towards each other. You're going to walk your hands back in towards the body, and you're going to sit up onto the heels. So hopefully you can see that I'm pulling and spreading all my toes on both feet, either side. And there's a lot of pressure down into the feet. So I'm stretching the soles of the feet, the toes. You may feel some pressure through the knees or through the shins. So this is helping stimulate and lengthen the soles of the feet and the ankles, getting a nice deep stretch through the toes. Particularly if you're wearing shoes a lot, your toes will be quite stiff. So if they're not flexing a lot, just breathe and sit here for a moment. Take one more breath. Nice. As you exhale, release, taking the hands to the floor, untuck your toes, curl them in, and then from here, just flicking the toes, rolling your ankles, and gently patting the tops of feet to the floor. Awesome. From here, let's make our way into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Reach the hands nice and forward, hands shoulder width apart, spread your fingers nice and wide. So we kind of take a gentle child's pose here with the knees together, Balasana. And then it's from here with the same foundations of our hands grounding down. We rock forward onto the knees, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under, tuck the toes, make sure your feet are about hip width apart. From here, you have those foundations. The hands are down, the toes are down. You're going to draw the belly in, pull the core in, pull up on pelvic floor, and start to draw the knees up away from the mat. Start to take the hips up toward the sky, press and straighten through the arms, feeling the weight shift up toward the shoulders, out of the hands. And then from here, just bending one knee and taking the opposite heel down towards the floor. Once again, we just slow everything down. No hurry. Just walking out our dog, feeling the cracks, the pops, all the movement here for you. Just one more time each side. And then as you exhale, you're going to soften both heels down at the same time. So you might feel this through the back of the Achilles, the calves, and all the way up through the back of the legs. So that's a nice deep stretch through the back of the legs. Feel the heels ground down as you press out through the hands. Open through the heart. And gazing back between the center of the thighs or towards the thighs, and let the head just fully hang down. Breathe here for 2 more breaths. Long inhale, full exhale. Close down your eyes for your final breath. Exhale completely. Slowly start to look forward, rolling forward onto the balls of the feet. Keep the hands planted down. Start to draw the feet in, walking them all the way up to the top of the mat, keeping the hands plugged down. Take the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, and then we're just going to fold over the legs into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. So option here, bend your knees as much as you need to and kind of let your belly just rest on the thighs and the head hang down.
Otherwise, you can just start to press through the feet, squeeze the legs on. Keep drawing the belly towards the thighs as you fold over, letting the full weight of the neck go and surrender to the floor. Nice. Take a little ragdoll here, hand to opposite elbow. Now, if you are pregnant, then maybe just taking your feet a little wider so you've got space through the pelvis where that beautiful baby is growing, and allow everything to soften over. Take a full breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. And then from here, you're going to press out through the feet and slowly rising on up all the way to standing. Nice. Extend the arms up and overhead. Reach out through the fingers, palms touch, fingers press. Exhale, release, hands to heart center. All right, so we're going to take this through Surya Namaskar now, our sun salutation. So just take your time, don't worry. You'll find your flow here and you'll be able to find your way into the breath, remembering that the breath is the most important thing here. So if you can just notice that the breath is starting to get short, just allow the breath to slow down and lengthen out. Slow everything down. So grounding down through your feet, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take your arms alongside the body, the palms facing forward. Now in Tadasana, mountain pose, we want to ground through the feet. So you're pressing your feet down into the floor, but you're lifting your torso up. So this is helping work on your posture as you draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Try not to jam everything down. Try to feel a lightness and a lifting through upper body, grounding down through the feet. Bobbing the head atop of the neck. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. This always helps with me. I have a little bit of forward head syndrome where I put my head forward. So this always is a great one for me. Gently tucking my chin in towards my mid-throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Awesome. From here, we're going to inhale, float the hands up, palms touch. As you exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Come into your halfway lift, so fingers to the floor. If you can reach, or take the hands to the shins, come up a little bit higher, but you want to ultimately create a nice flat back. So this is the hands to the shins or fingers to the floor. As you exhale, slide your fingers in line with the heels and bend your knees. Let the head hang down. Step the left foot back into a lunge position. Nice long step back. Start to lower the hips down, bending through the right knee, lift and opening through the heart. Breathe in. As you exhale, palms come to the floor, let the head hang down and breathe out. Inhale, lifting the heart, opening, lengthening. And then from here, you're going to take your left hand down into the floor, right fingertips down in to the floor, and then step your right foot back. From here, we're coming into a kneeling plank, breathing here. And then from here, tucking your toes, we're going to lift the hips back into our down face dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, 2 breaths here. Full breath into the nose. Full breath out through the nose. Nice. On your next inhale, I'm going to float forward into a plank. So take the shoulders over top of the wrists. Make the body nice and long. Really press out through the hands. Draw the belly in. Pull up on the pelvic floor. Now, if you need to, you can stay high or come down to the knees. From here, untuck the toes. And from here, we're going to lower down with control. Keep the elbows drawing in towards each other. They graze alongside the ribs as you come down onto your belly. Going to inhale, lift up, opening through front of body, press tops of feet down, draw elbows in. No weight through the hands, using the spinal muscles to open up into your Bhujangasana, your baby cobra. Exhale, release forehead down. Tuck your toes, press out through hands and knees once more. Come back up through kneeling plank, and then press back into your down face dog. Take 2 breaths here. Full breath in, long exhale out. Final breath. Allow everything to slow down. Nice. And then after your exhale, you're going to take your left leg toward the sky, 3-legged dog. Lift the leg up. Try to keep it straight, pointing out through the big toe. Lifting that leg high. Draw the knee towards the chest and step the foot forward to the front of your mat. Sitting down into your low lunge. Hips come low. Exhale, step your right foot to meet the left. Fold over the legs. Uttanasana. Bending through the knees, going to rise on up. Inhale, breathe it in, palms touch. Exhale, release, hands to heart center. Nice job. Let's move on to the left side. Inhale, sweep the hands up, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Halfway lift, fingers to the floor or hands to the shins, remember. Draw the fingers back in line with the heels and you're going to step your right foot back this time. Nice long step back into your low lunge. Drop the hips down. You can come down into the back knee if that was too much for you with the back knee lifted, or staying high with the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, lifting up with the chest, the chin. Take your right hand to the floor, left fingertips to the floor, and step the left foot back into your plank. Hands beneath the shoulders, pressing through the hands, lifting your heart away. As you exhale, you might want to lower down onto your knees. And we're lower down, we're going to press back into our down face dog. So hips come high. As you exhale, the heels come down. And 2 full breaths here. 1 more breath. Nice. Now from here, float forward into your plank once more. Option to stay high or come down onto the knees. Now we're lowering down. Chaturanga Dandasana. So point the elbows behind you, draw them in towards the center of your body and lower your chest down as you exhale. Squeeze the legs, press out through tops of feet, open through the heart, draw elbows in, no weight through the hands. Exhale, release forehead down. Tuck toes, press out through hands and knees, back through kneeling plank, 1 line, and then lift the hips back up to your down face dog. 4, exhale out. Take 1 more breath there. 4, exhale out. Then take the right leg toward the sky, 3-legged dog. Press through the right big toe pad, lifting the leg up. And then from here, curl the knee towards his chest, step the foot forward to the center of your mat, back to your low lunge. Keep the back knee to the ground if you need to. From here, step the left foot to meet the right and fold over the legs. Inhale, rising on up, palms touch above the head. Exhale, release, hands to heart center. Let's take the next round again, a little more. Taking it onto the right side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Halfway lift, flat back, fingers to the floor, hands to the shins. Slide your fingers in line with the heels and step the left foot back into your lunge. Knees or toes opening through the heart, breathe in. Exhale, rounding through the spine, breathe out. Next, inhale, lift and open through the chest. Take the left hand to the floor, right fingertips to the ground, and step the right foot back into your plank. Hands beneath the shoulders, strong core. Lifting the hips high, take the heels to the floor, down into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, down face dog. Soften your heels down on your exhale. From here, take your left leg toward the sky, 3-legged dog. Release it down. From here, inhale, float forward, plank position. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga to the floor. Those in my practice want to inhale a upward facing dog, squeezing the legs in, opening through the collarbones. If you are new to the practice, staying low into your baby cobra. This is strengthening the upper back and back muscles for you. Nice, release the forehead down, transitioning back through to your down face dog, nice and slow. So those that are pregnant are not going to come all the way down to the floor. I should have added this in a little earlier. They're actually just going to stay high, hovering in a tabletop and float forward. So I'll do the next round to show you what that looks like. From here, extend the left leg toward the sky, 3-legged dog. Curl the knee towards the chest. Step the foot forward to the center of your mat. Low lunge. Now step your right to meet the left. Fold over the legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, rising on up. Palms touch above the head. Exhale, release, hands to heart center. Let's take the the left side again. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release the fingers in line with the heels. Step the right foot back into your lunge. Knees sit over the ankles, open through the heart. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Take the right hand to the floor, left fingertips reaching down, creating more space through the left side as you step your left foot back into your plank. Lowering down to the knees if you need to, and pressing back into your down face dog. Soften the heels down as you exhale.
Inhale, float forward. So I'll show you ladies that are pregnant, so you can come back to this. Come down to the knees. You can just bend your elbows and lower down. Inhale, open through the chest, opening through the front of body. And then exhale, rounding into the cat. So cat and cow here. Nice. So instead of taking the lowering down, opening through the chest, we're just going to move through cat and cow, so that pelvic tilt and that stretch through the back of the body. So from here, lowering down, inhale baby cobra or upward facing dog, opening through the chest. Nice, engage the core, lift the hips high, press back, down face dog. Full breath in, long exhale out. Take the right leg toward the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl the knee towards the chest, step the foot forward, low lunge. Step the left foot to meet the right, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising on up. Palms touch above the head. Exhale, release, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. Closing down the eyes. Feeling the heart beating in the chest and the blood pumping in the veins. Soften through the shoulders and relax through the jaw. Notice how your body feels at this time. One more breath. As you exhale, gently open your eyes. Allow the light, the space in, release your hands. Grab yourself a little sip of water if you need to, and we'll start back at the top of your mat. Okay, so from the top of your mat, we're just going to make sure that we've got big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Any persons with lower back injuries, take your feet a little further apart, big toes away from each other. So from here, we're going to step back into a warrior one. So take the hands to the hips, and we're going to step back first. Actually, I'm going to come to the other end, just so you guys can see. I can see you actually. From the front of your mat, we'll make sure our feet are hip width apart, even a little wider. So we're going to come into warrior one from here. So with the toes facing forward, hips facing forward, I step my left foot back, one leg's distance from where it was at the front of the mat. Have both toes facing forward, maybe your heels slightly pulled in and the toes pointing to the top left corner of your mat. From here, start to bend through the front knee, making sure that the knee does not surpass the front ankle, and you can still see the toes peeking out over top of the knee. So I need to step back a little bit further because I can still see, my toes. So draw the belly button in, tuck the tailbone under, keep the hips facing forward. And then from here, we're going to sweep our fingers forward and up. Now, any lower back issues here, bend that back knee, lifting the heel up off the ground. It's more of a lunge, but it's less pressure on the sacrum and the lower back, and you'll feel better for it later, trust me. So sitting down, bending through the front knee, sitting down through the seat. So you want to make sure the head is stacked over top of the shoulders, shoulders over top of the hips, arms lengthened up, and these arms are active. So palms facing in towards each other. Fingers reaching long, pinky fingers forward, thumbs pointing behind you. Draw your belly in, sit down a little deeper. One more breath. Long exhale out. And I'm going to open up warrior two. So take your arms wide, left arm reaches back and behind you, right arm reaches forward. You'll notice that I've wiggled my back foot to the center of my mat and it's going onto a 45-degree angle. Make sure your front foot is in the center of your mat. And you ultimately want the front heel to line up with the inner arch of your back foot. Lots of cues here. I know. So from here, arms long like warrior, hands in line with the shoulder, palms facing down. Start to bend through the front knee and sit down through the hips. And pull your knee in line with the second and third toe over the front ankle. So as you gaze over the front knee, you can see the second and third toe. And then with your eyes, you're just going to gaze out over the middle finger of the front hand. Sitting down into your seat, full breath in. Keep squeezing the back legs on. Keep squeezing inner thighs in towards each other. One more breath. From here, going to flip the front palm to face up. Reach that hand forward. We're going to reverse up our warrior. So reach that right arm up toward the sky. Reach your left hand down toward the floor. As you peel the hands away from each other, keep bending through the front knee. Breathe into the side of the body. Full breath in. Long exhale out. On your inhale, rising on up, come to a side angle from here. So you're gonna take your right elbow to the top of the right knee, sweep your left hand forward, palm facing down, all the way to the front of the mat and up above the head. So ideally you want one line from the outside of your back foot all the way up to the top of the left hand. So palm facing down, nice long line. Try not to collapse that bottom shoulder around the ear. Keep pressing through the elbow, bending through the hips, bending the knee. One more breath. Taking this a little deeper if you want, taking the hand to the inside of the front ankle, extend the top hand toward the sky. Breathe deep. And either here, taking a bind, so reaching that left hand back in behind you, taking hold of the lower back or the inside of the right thigh, or the outside of the right thigh. Turn the chest up toward the sky, full breath in, long exhale out. From here, extend that left arm up as you inhale, and start to strain through the front leg as you open up into your Trikonasana. So the bottom hand is in line with the bottom shoulder, the top hand in line with the top shoulder. So this is triangle pose. So you've got one triangle between the feet and the groin, between the legs, and the other triangle is this front one between the front thigh and the front arm. So try not to resting down onto the leg. If you are holding onto it, pull away through the top hand or back of the hand to the inside of the shin. Breathing there, full breath in, long exhale out. One more breath. On your inhale, rising on up, release the hands to the hips, turn the toes to the long side of your mat. Walk them in slightly. Got cords going everywhere now. So walk the the toes in, heels out. So you're like pigeon toeing your feet. Now, the way I like to describe this to my yogis is when you bend your knees, you want to watch that your knees are kind of going in the same direction that your toes are pointing. So if your toes are pointing forward and you bend your knees and they're not going in the same direction, it can put extra strain on your knees. So take the toes slightly in, heel slightly out. And then just from here, you're going to start to fold forward, hinging from the hips. So wide-legged forward fold. So hands to the hip creases, start to fold forward, hinging from the hips. First, take the torso parallel to the floor. Okay, so just staying there, drawing the belly in, that core drawing in, keeping that spine nice and erect, even lifting through the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other at the back of the body. And shift the weight forward into the balls of the feet. So you've got a gentle rocking sensation through the feet, making sure the feet are connected to the mat evenly. Release the hands to the floor. This is the time, if you can't quite reach the floor, if it's too far away, grab a cushion or your blocks and bring the floor up to you. Ultimately, you want to, try and work to keeping the legs straight. If it's not available to you and you can't reach the floor and don't have blocks, then bend your knees. So we're just going to start to hinge forward from here, and I'm going to fold over the body. Just letting the head hang down, kind of like our down dog. So walk your hands in underneath the shoulders, wherever your shoulders are. So directly beneath your shoulders will be your hands with the palms to face down. Shift the weight again into the balls of the feet, lift the hips higher. And if you'd like to, you can take hands to the outside of your ankles, draw your elbows wide and start to draw the chest in between the thighs. Take a full breath in and the long exhale out. Nice full breath, let the head hang down, let the weight of the neck go. I like to do a little rock side to side, yes and no's, releasing all the tension. And just start to find stillness here for the next few breaths as you let go. You might even want to take the option of reaching the hands back in behind you, allowing the hips to arise a little more, the torso to fold. Nice, slowly releasing. Take the hands beneath the shoulders, come up halfway. And then from here, you're going to take the heels in and the toes out. So we're going to come up into a goddess. So either grounding down through the feet. If you need to, your stability's not there yet, take the hands to the hips. We're going to inhale, rise on up with the chest. Keep the knees nice and bent like a deep squat. You're probably already thinking, oh hell no, I'm not doing squats in yoga, but they're really good for the hips. We want to open the hips and strengthen the legs. This is helping to build stronger legs for us. Take your arms into cactus arms, like a goddess pose. Draw the knees wide, so squeeze the knees away from each other, palms facing in. Sitting down into your seat, heart is open. Full breath in. As you exhale, take your left elbow over to the left knee and extend your right arm up and over. Keep the hips nice and low, keep bending through both knees. Nice, inhale, rise on up. Exhale to the other side, right elbow to right knee and extend the left arm over. Keep sitting down through the hips. Inhale, rise up. One more time, each side, lengthening over. Full breath in. Long exhales out, rising on up before you come over to the right side for the final time. Nice. Legs are burning. Release your hands to your hips, straighten through your legs. And then from here, we're going to come onto the other side. So you're going to turn the left toes to face the other side of your mat, the top side of your mat. And then from here, just gently hop your right foot in. So take your left foot a little wider. Actually, we're going to take our left foot to the center and our right foot. Now we're going to take our left foot to the center and our right foot to a 45-degree angle. So we're going to find our warrior two on this side now. So bending through the front knee, the left knee, and sitting down through the hips. So those hips are getting a good workout, strengthening through the legs. So just making sure they're adjusting your body as you need to. So ultimately you might be up a little higher, but we're working to get that front thigh parallel to the floor. And it takes years, it does. And it takes a lot of breathing. Make sure your arms are nice and long. Relax the shoulders and relax the neck muscles. Full breath in all the way to the belly. Long exhale out. Just a few more breaths there. Legs are working hard. Breathing deep. I really needed this for myself today as well. I hope you're getting what you need out of it right now. From here, flip the front palm to face up. You're going to sweep the sky with the left hand. Take the right hand down to the floor. So you're reaching the hands away, up and away, but keep bending through the front knee. Sitting down through the hips. Take a full breath in. Long exhale out. Inhale, rise on up. You're going to take the left elbow to the top of the left thigh and inhale, sweep the right hand up and away towards the top of your mat. Draw that shoulder away from the top ear and draw the left shoulder away from the chest, away from the ear as well. So you want the shoulders pressing away toward the hips. Bend through the front knee and sit down through the hips. Feeling that nice long line down the right hand side of the body, extended side angle. And then from here, if you want to take it a little deeper, you can just release that left hand to the floor and take the top hand toward the sky. It gets a lot deeper into the hips. Full breath in. And if you want to take it a little further, remembering just to take it easy as you ease your way into the practice, otherwise bending that top elbow, reaching that right hand to the inside of the left thigh or the outside of the thigh. Breathing there, sitting down through the hips. Relaxing that bottom shoulder away. Full breath in. Long exhale out. Slowly releasing, unraveling. We're taking Trikonasana on the other side. So making sure that you start to lift up through the torso, straighten through the front left leg. Hand to the back of the hand to the inside of the thigh. Or holding onto the ankle or the shin and pulling up through the top hand. So you have the option here to look up towards the top hand or gazing down to the floor here. Squeeze the thighs in towards each other, making that beautiful 2 triangle shape. 2 triangles. Belly in. Nice. As you exhale, release your right hand to the inside of the left foot. Release your left hand down to the floor and step the left foot back into a plank. Coming into your plank, palms to the floor, draw the belly in. Exhale, press back, down face dog. Soften the heels down. Full breath in. Long exhale out.
All right, let's get a little bit deeper into the twist from here. So we're going to do a short down dog. So just gently walk your feet slightly in so your heels release all the way to the floor. So like mine, heels come all the way down already, but if your heels are lifted, walk them in so they can come down. Even if you have to micro bend through the knees, I recommend doing that. You're going to take your right arm in underneath the body to take hold, either outside of the left thigh, or working your way down toward the left ankle. Start to straighten through the legs, lift the hips, and you're going to start to use the bicep and the right arm as you twist and look out under your left armpit. So 3-legged dog. Twisting through the torso, releasing on your next out breath, come to the other side. So grounding down through the right hand, left hand coming to the outside of the thigh, working your way down to the ankle. Don't worry if it's only the outside of the calf. Just try not to pull on the knee too much, wherever you can. And then start to turn over toward your right, looking out underneath your right armpit. Taking a full breath in. Using that left bicep to twist through the torso. Taking one more breath. Exhale, releasing on your exhale. Releasing on your exhale. Nice, then walk the feet back slightly to your down dog. And take 3 breaths here in down dog. Try to keep the heels grounding down. Pressing out through the hands. So this is like an upside down V shape. So pressing through the hands. So we're not collapsing into the wrists. We really want to press through the fingertips and the knuckles. Like you're trying to pull the palms up off the floor and keep the wrist muscles strong and activated, and the joints as well. Shift the weight up toward the hips. As you exhale, feel that stretch go down the back of the legs. One more breath. And then from here, slowly bending the knees, look to the front of your mat, walk the feet all the way to the front. Big toes touch, fold over the legs. Uttanasana. So standing forward fold. This is a really nice one to just kind of traction the spine and let the weight of the shoulders, the head go. Because we're always kind of, we're always upright generally, unless we're bats. But we want the weight of the head to really pull on the neck to open up the space between the vertebrae, giving a chance for the discs in our neck and entire spine really to kind of create some space, give them some relief. Take a hand to opposite elbow here if you choose. Resting the body down, or just let the hands dangle down. Totally up to you. Full breath in. Long exhale out. And slowly from here, just open your eyes if you had them closed. I always close my eyes. Take your feet about hip width apart, toes to face forward. And then from here, start to bend your knees and sit your bottom back behind your heels. We're going to sweep the fingers forward and up, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose, opening through the heart. See, you thought yoga was going to be nice and cruisy. Well, today we are strengthening the body, strengthening our immune system as we create strong minds. Breathe all the way into the belly. Exhale, sit down a little deeper. Keep extending the fingers up, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under slightly. One more breath. Exhale, fold over. Just releasing the head down. Taking a gentle sway, hands to opposite elbows if you like, through the spine. And from here, releasing the hands down. Hands either side of the feet. And we're going to step the left leg back into our lunge. So stepping the foot back, you can take the back knee to the ground if you like. Make sure that the front knee doesn't surpass the front ankle or toes. And try to keep a nice line there. And then lifting up through the heart, as we did in our sun salutations. Lift the chin, the chest. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, let the head hang down. From here, take your left hand to the floor or your block underneath the hand, and take your right hand to the right knee. Now from here, we're going to twist from the belly button up, the body over toward the right. Full breath in. Long exhale out. And you can either stay here or you can start to extend that top hand up towards the sky. Breathing deep. And slowly release that top hand down and turn the torso to face the front. If your block is there, then you can pop it off to the side. Now we're going to take the full variation of this, coming into a bit more of a bind. Okay, so just warming the torso in. Well, the body's already warm, so warmer. From here, you're going to sweep the fingers forward and up, rise on up in Anjali Asana. So you lunge once more, but we're going to take our hands to our heart center. Palms press together, elbows come wide, thumbs point back toward the heart. Draw the belly in, keep the hips nice and low. Now using the strength in the spine, I'm going to turn the torso over to the right. Okay, so this is not me using my hands to draw me over. I want to use the muscles in my spine. Then we're going to hook the left elbow over the outside of the right knee or thigh. So not far from the knee. And then pressing the palms together, start to draw the body away from that thigh and start to turn it over to the right. Keep pressing the palms together, draw the belly in. So lift the ribs away from the thigh as you gaze out to the right side. Full breath in. Option here if you like. More experienced yogis than mine may want to lift the back knee, keep the hips low. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, release, gazing forward. Take the hands back to heart center and release the hands back to the floor. Taking the right fingertips to the ground, step the right foot back, plank position. Lower the knees on your exhale and lower the chest as you next exhale. Inhale, baby cobra, maybe upward facing dog if you choose. Draw the belly in. And then exhale, tuck the toes, press out through hands and knees, and come back to down face dog. Softening the heels down as you exhale. Take a full breath in. Long exhale out. We're not quite done on that side, so we're going to take it a little bit further, taking the right leg toward the sky, three-legged dog. And curl the knee in, bend the knee and take the heel in towards the buttocks, lifting the hip open to the right. Nice necklace in my face. So you'll feel the body twist and turn over to the right as you lift that knee up towards the sky, even weight through the front hands. Then from here, square the hips off, draw the knee in, and you can step that foot to the inside of your right thumb. Come down onto your back knee. So the lunge that we were just before, but we're coming into a lizard from here. So getting deeper into the hips. You're going to take your hand to the inside of the right foot, walk your right foot to the outside edge of your mat. So my little toes are pretty much on the outside edge of my mat, and my hands down to the floor. If you can't come down to the floor, remembering to take the blocks beneath your hands, opening through the heart, sitting down through the hips, getting deep into the hip socket, breathing all the way to the belly. Full breath in, long exhale out. Please stay here if you're just beginning a practice of yoga and the body's feeling everything in discomfort here. Otherwise, you have the option to bend through the elbows and take the forearms to the floor, keeping the spine nice and long, solar foot pressing down, and the right knee drawing in towards the right shoulder. So a little deeper through the hips. Full breath in, long exhale out. One more breath. Exhale completely. Slowly rising on up if you're on the floor. And then walk that foot all the way over to underneath the left wrist and let the knee fall out toward the right. So we're coming into a pigeon pose, Ekapada, my goodness, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana.
we're coming into pigeon from here. So drop the knee down, then look to your left leg behind you, pick up the leg and slide the leg back and behind you. Now, if your hips are quite tight, then the hips won't come down very far. You have the option to grab your block, pop it underneath your right hip, and this is going to help stabilize the pelvis, keep it nice and level as we open up through the outside of the hip. So completely optional to you of what you need in your practice. Open through the heart. Take time here to feel into your body, making sure you've got the stretch through the front of your left leg and the front of the hip flexor, and also through the outside of the right hip. Taking the left foot out to the left and the right knee out to the right. The left, oh my goodness, see? Taking the right foot out to the left and the right knee out to the right across your mat. And then when you're ready, you're going to come down onto the forearms and just rest the head down. So you're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. Letting the body come down, surrender out. Keeping your intention and your focus on your breath. Breathing all the way into the belly. Take the option here of my yogis to extend your fingers forward, forehead resting down. Feeling the full weight coming down. Feel free to use a bolster, blanket or pillow to support you. Making sure that you can take time to really breathe space here. Onto your final breath, you're slowly rising on up with the head. Walk your hands back in towards center. Hand shoulder width apart, spread your fingers super wide. Back foot, just gently tuck it in, walk it forward, the knee forward a little. And then from here, keeping those toes tucked, press out through the hands, engage the core, lift the right leg all the way back up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Allow the blood to drain back to the hip socket. And exhale, release the foot back down. Awesome, let's come on to the other side for this. Just walking out your dog for a moment. And then when you're ready, taking your left leg toward the sky, 3-legged dog. And then from here, you're gonna lift your knee up toward the sky, drop the heel back towards the bottom, and open over to your left. Breathing here, strong through the arms, lifting the torso away. And then squaring the hips off. You're going to draw the knee towards the chest, step the foot forward to the inside of the left thumb. Come down onto your back knee, sitting down through your hips. Shoulders away from the ears toward the hips. Just breathing deep, lift and open through the chest. Exhale, sinking down with the hips. From here, if you need your block once more, placing it underneath the right hand. Take your left hand to the top of the left thigh. And then just starting to twist through the torso over toward your left. Try not to collapse down through the bottom arm. Keep pressing through the bottom hand. Fingers pressing in, knuckles pressing down. One more breath. Exhale, release, come back to center. So if we did on the other side, we're going to sweep the fingers forward and up. Rise on up. Anjali-asana, draw the belly in. Draw the hands to your heart center, finding balance here. Take your time, don't hurry. And then from here, using the spinal muscles, we're going to twist over toward the left. Draw the belly in, ground down through that front foot. And then hooking the right elbow over the outside of the left knee, press the knee into the leg and draw the torso away. Pressing palms together, elbows wide. Start to turn the torso over toward the left. Twisting through the spine. Or breathing all the way down into the belly. From here, if you did on the other side, tucking the back toes, squeezing the back thigh. Keep the hips nice and low. Press out through the back heel. Straight leg. Keep twisting. A little deeper with the breath. One more breath. Slowly turn your head back to center. Release your hands back to center. Take them to the floor and release your back knee to the ground. Hello hips. Walk our left foot out to the outside of your, the outside of your hand, toes to the outside of your mat. Coming into lizard on the other side, taking your option of feeling it into the hip joint here, staying nice and high, or coming down onto the forearms and allowing the torso to come to the inside of the left thigh. Draw the belly in. Pressing through the elbows, dropping down through the hips. So if you need to go a little deeper, slide that right leg back in behind you. Finding your depth. Keep on breathing. Please breathe. Everybody needs you to breathe right now. Let's take one more long, smooth breath. Long exhale out. Slowly rising on up, coming onto the hands, and then walking that left foot all the way over to the right. Take your time here, and let the knee fall out toward the left, taking the shin across your mat. Look to that right leg now. Make sure it's nice and straight as you lengthen it back, top of the foot to the floor. And then just coming up a little higher, remembering to grab the block as you need to place it underneath your left buttocks if your bottom is quite far away off the floor, or a pillow or a blanket. Sitting down through the hips, drawing the belly in, relaxing the shoulders down, and slowly coming down onto the forearms, the elbows, and allowing the breath to soften. Take 5 long, smooth breaths here. Long exhales out. Close down your eyes here even. Just allow yourself to really sink into the space. Full breath in. Nice long exhale out. And your final breath, releasing the breath all the way out. Slowly rising on up with the chin, the heart. Take the hands back to the floor, hand shoulder width apart, spread your fingers nice and wide. And then from here, just walking the right toes in, creeping them in. So you've got the shoulders over top of the wrists, engage the core, keeping the right toes tucked. Start to lift the hips up and extend the left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Allow the blood to come back to the hip joint, lifting the leg up. Exhale, softening the leg down. Taking the feet down into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, down face dog. Softening the heels down. Nice breath in. Long exhale out. From here, just gazing to the front of your mat. Walk your feet into the center. And then just bending the knees. You're going to make your way down onto your bottom and extend the legs forward. Nice. Coming into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So let's just take a moment here to pull the fleshy parts at the bottom out from underneath us. Create space through the sacrum, through the tailbone and the bottom of the pelvis. Take time here to flex the toes in towards the shin. So looking at my toes, flex them in towards the shin, pressing through the heels, drawing the toes in. Hands alongside the body, lifting and lengthening through the spine like an L shape. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. From here, inhale, float your hands up. Palms face in. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward, hinging from the hips. So nice long spine. As you lead forward with your heart, reach your hand toward your feet. Taking the hold of the outside of the feet, ankles, shins, wherever you can hold, and allow the body to fold over. If this is too much for your hamstrings or lower back, bend your knees and allow the torso to fold over toward the thighs. Working your way through this to lengthen the legs and allow the body to soften down. 3 more breaths here. After your final breath, slowly releasing the hands and rising all the way back on up. Alright, so then rock back onto your bottom. You're going to bend your knees, take soles of feet together, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, or the nice butterfly pose to release the inner groin. So hands to the ankles, soles of feet pressing together, sitting up nice and tall. So this is where I like to kind of get a blanket. I want to draw the belly in and tilt the pelvis forward. So a lot of people can round out through the lower back. I want you to feel like you're drawing it in, lifting with the heart, and turning the belly button. So you're trying to take it down toward the floor. Yes. And then from here, you're going to bend your elbows, take them to the inside of the knees or shins, and either holding the feet, the ankles, wherever you need to hold, you're going to fold over toward the floor. Taking the forehead toward the feet and resting down. So ultimately, between the legs here, we want a nice squash diamond pose. The closer that you draw the heels in, the more squash the diamond. It's actually a lot more intense for the inside of the groin. But if it's feeling too much, you can also take the feet a little further forward and rest the head down. It doesn't really matter where you are today. We just want to allow our bodies to soften in and find space. One more breath here. Full exhale out. Slowly rising on up with the inhale. Take your hands to the outside of the knees, draw the knees in towards each other. Walk your feet out wider, feet hip width apart. Take your hands back and behind your hips, palms to the floor, fingers pointing toward the toes. So we're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So from here, press through the feet, press through the heels of the hands and start to squeeze the bottom, lift the front of body up toward the sky. Try to keep the head in line with the shoulders and not just letting it drop back. We want to keep the hips lifting and squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. Opening through front of body. One more breath. And exhale, slowly lower down. Awesome. Extend the left leg forward, and from here you're going to drop the right knee out wide, sole of foot to the inside of the left thigh. Reach up with the hands. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward towards the left foot, taking hold. So Janusarasasana from here. And just folding over. Remember, the hands can rest on the shin, the ankle, wherever you need to be, and just allow the body to come over. Breathe all the way into the belly. Breathe all the way out. Slowly rising on up with your inhale. And then from here, you're going to draw the right knee back into center, sole foot to the floor. And you're going to pick up that right foot and take it over to the outside of the left leg. Now, if that's okay for you, stay here. If you're feeling like that knee is going to have too much pressure or the hips are too tight, stay here. Otherwise, roll onto your left buttock, bend your left knee and take it to the outside of your right hip. So I'm sitting onto both sit bones. If you can't sit on both sit bones, then you want to extend that left leg long again, sitting up nice and tall, feeling through the outside of the hips, get deeper into the twist. Those that are pregnant and just want to take a nice open twist, you're going to stay with the first option before we move into the second. So from here, you're going to take your left hand, fingertips cupping the floor behind your left hip. Inhale, take your right hand toward the sky. Twisting, using the spinal muscles to look over toward the left. Draw your right elbow to the inside of the right knee, pressing elbow into knee, knee into elbow. So you want your right big toe to keep pressing into the floor as you use that as leverage to twist over toward the left. So option here if you need to take hold of the ankle. Otherwise, just palm facing over toward the right.
twisting over toward the left. Take one more breath here. Full, exhale out. Inhale, turn back to center. Exhale, release the arms. Coming on to the second side now. So those that were pregnant, you can take the option of the first side again, or just sitting into the outside of the hips. Otherwise, left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right fingers cupping to the floor, lifting and lengthening through the spine, twisting over toward the right. So you're using that leverage to really twist through the spine, gazing out over the right shoulder. Keep pressing shoulders toward the hips, lengthening the spine up, grounding down through the sit bones. Breathe all the way into the belly. One more breath. Exhale, release. Back to center. Unravel the arms. Take the hands back and behind you. Rock back onto the bottom. Unravel the legs. Extend them forward. Awesome. Back of the legs to the floor. Bend your left knee now and take the sole of foot to the inside of the right thigh. So coming onto the other side as you reach your hands up, palms facing in. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, fold towards your right leg. Taking hold of the outside of the foot, ankle or shin, press through the heel, and then start to fold over toward the right knee. So if you can, start to work on taking your nose towards your knee, or even extending it forward, taking the nose towards the shin. Keep the back of the neck nice and long, shoulders pressing toward the hips. Draw the belly in. Exhale completely. Just take one more breath here. Long exhale out. Inhale, slowly rise on up. Let's take your left hand to the left knee, take sole foot back down into the floor. I'm going to pick up your left foot and take it over the top of the right foot, sole of foot down into the floor. Keeping that right leg nice and straight if you did so on the other side, otherwise rolling onto your right bottom, bending the right knee, taking the foot to the outside of the left hip. Sit down firmly into both sit bones down into the floor. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine. I'm going to begin with an open twist first. So take your right hand behind your right hip, cupping the fingers to the floor, gives you a little bit more height through the spine, particularly if you've got short arms. Inhale, lengthen the left arm up. As you exhale, twisting over toward your right, take your left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Now you probably would have just seen there, maybe I was pressing my foot down firmly into the floor, and because I'm using that as leverage to twist over toward the right. We've already done this, but we had it with a closed twist. So now we're doing an open one on this side. So okay, if you are pregnant, taking it to your depth. One more breath in. And as you exhale, turn your head back to center. Either staying and taking that option again if you're pregnant, or inhale, taking the right arm up, left fingertips cupping behind the left hip, and twisting using the spinal muscles over toward the left, but then pressing the elbow into the outside of the knee and twisting over toward your left. Keep pressing the left big toe into the mat. And feel that kind of tug of war with your left knee and your right arm as they press towards each other. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, turn your head to face forward and release your arms. Rock back onto the bottom, unravel the legs, extend them forward. Give them a little shake out through the legs. Maybe pat tops through the front of the legs. A little rub, wake them up, soften them out, let them go. Beautiful. Before we come over into our Shavasana, I'm going to take you through a nice heart opener I love to do. I generally do this at the start of practice, so you'll start to notice with more classes that it does pop up. So I do recommend to have a block available if you can, otherwise just grabbing a cushion that you can use or a rolled up towel. So this one is option here if you have a block and you're quite limited through your mobility of your thoracic spine, then taking it onto the flat side. If you're a little bit more open, you can take it onto the longer side. And then from here, just sitting your bottom into the center of the mat, you actually want to lay back onto the block And you want to take it lengthways on the spine. So the top of the block is lower than the top of my shoulders. Hopefully you can see that. I'm checking out my own mirrors. So then from there, shuffling the hips, make sure the tailbone's tucked away. And then we're going to lay back onto the block. So we're just going to stay here for about 8 breaths. Remember, if your head doesn't rest down onto the floor, then you want to lift or pop a blanket underneath the head. But we want the arms to go wide and the chest to open up. Soften through the belly. Take your legs even a little bit wider. Try to relax the entire spine and torso over the block. So it may feel uncomfortable. If you've never done anything like this before, it's going to feel strange. My other yogis, you love doing this. I know you do. And close down your eyes, taking the final 4 breaths here. Now after your final exhale to come out, you can just start to bend your knees, take soles of the feet down into the floor, elbows alongside the body, pressing through the elbows, tuck the chin in and start to rise back on up. If that's not for you, then just rolling out to the side, popping the block out from underneath you and coming to lay on your back. You're coming into Shavasana now, laying down on the floor. Shavasana is also known as corpse pose, pretty much the end of every yoga practice possible. One of my, well, actually my favorite pose. I don't get to lay down on the floor with you guys very often in actual studio classes because I'm guiding you through this. So just for, you know, instructional purposes, I'm going to take you and lay down on the floor. So just lay down on the floor, make sure that your feet are a little wider than hip width apart and your arms alongside the body. Ensure your spine is nice and long. So pick up the shoulder blades, tuck them down the spine, shoulders away from the ears. If you need to, just pick up your hips, tuck the tailbone under and lengthen the legs long. Just have the palms to face up, relax the toes away from each other and start to soften through the front side of the body. Close down your eyes. If you've got your eye pillow here, feel free to pop the eye pillow over your eyes and just resting down. As it gets into the cooler season of autumn here, or it's cooler where you are, then you may want to pop a blanket on. And we're just going to lay here. And I'll just guide you through this just a little to begin, and then we're going to settle into silence, into stillness, as we just absorb the energies of our practice of what we've done. So just allowing a wave of relaxation to come down from the crown of the head, over the face, down over the shoulders, to the outer arms, toward the fingers, relaxing everything on the way down. Take your time with this. Continue that relaxation down the front of the body, sides of the torso, and the back of the body. Allow the hips to soften. Feel that wave of relaxation travel down the legs, over the thighs, all the way to the toes. Allow the breath to resume normal breath or normal flow. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Don't worry if your mind starts to pick up and wander with thoughts, or even if you wanted to cut it short at this time of your practice. Just stay with me for a few more minutes, surrendering all that you can. Not at all, just all that you can. If your mind continues to race, just focusing your thoughts on the breath, as though it's a new experience to actually witness and watch the breath flowing in and out of the body. Notice the intricate movements of the breath as it moves in, sensations, feelings, emotions. And watching it as it releases from the body.
Continue to lay in stillness, allowing your body to rest. I will come and take you out of this posture shortly. Don't wait for any cues. Just allow your body to rest. Noticing any sounds around you, within you. To bring movement back into the body by gently wiggling through the fingers, through toes. Allowing the body to waken. Maybe you'd like to take the arms up and overhead, reach out through the fingers, point out through the toes. Take a full body yawn, stretching the body long. And then relaxing the body down. Taking the arms alongside the body. Slowly draw the knees in towards the chest, just one by one, hugging the knees in as you lay on your back. And then slowly releasing the hands from the shins. Release the feet to the floor. Make your way over onto your right hand side to a fetal position, and then using your hands, press yourself back up to a comfortable seated position facing me. You'll probably start to hear the baby elephant and the activity of home, knowing that this is home for now, and that even though the distractions of home will take you out of the space that we are once used to, know it's home. And we can cultivate and create stillness in this space just by coming to our mat. To end our practice, just take your hands to your heart center, thumbs pointing back toward the heart, closing down the eyes. Just taking this time for the gratitude of the practice. Thank you for joining me. Bowing the forehead toward the fingers. Namaste. And there's my baby, ready for his mama. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I know this is a little out of sorts. I hope that you can continue your practice on your mat at home, and I hope that I can continue to keep bringing you these videos. Thank you. Namaste.